ever thought about bunking school? I'm sure you must not have. You're all good kids. But in the darkest corner of your mind, if you had to do it, how would you do it? Like, you can scale the school walls. That's an easy thing, right? But jumping off from the school wall, now there you will need to know the height of the wall. Otherwise, you will break a leg and then another leg would be broken by your parents, right? So how do you find the height of the wall? Now there comes the application of trigonometry, everyone. So no skipping the lecture today, because in today's session we are going to do one-shot session of the chapter Some Applications of Trigonometry, guys. And my name is Ankita Singh. And remember to take the notes, to take the practice questions and actually practice them by clicking on the link in the description box below, which will take you to PW's app. There you have to enroll yourself in PW's free batch, right? And yes, guys, welcome to Physics Wala. Here we have the best results, we have the best teachers, we have the best lectures. So with that, guys, without wasting any time, let's start the session. Okay, everyone, first of all, I hope you have all joined our WhatsApp channel. And if you have not, please scan this code and join it, guys. You are going to get so many additional content there and you will benefit from that. So please do that, okay? So yes, with that, guys, in some applications of trigonometry, you don't have a lot of topics that you have to mug up, right? The only thing you need to know is basically the trigonometric table for all the angles, right? So I hope you have mugged that up, and if you have not done that, you can go to the one-shot session of the trigonometry chapter, and there I have taught the trick of mugging up the entire chapter, okay? So that is mandatory for this chapter, guys. Please mug that up. And with that, some additional things that you need to know is angle of elevation and angle of depression. Okay? Now, guys, this chapter here holds a weightage of about 4 marks. About 4 marks. You know, you can have 2 marks more or less. Okay? And it's a chapter that's, you know, from which you can very easily score marks. So that's why don't just think, yaar, 4 marks ka hi aayega to chhod dete hain. No, why? You can easily score that entire marks. It's an easy chapter. Okay? So yes, guys, with that, let us start with a fairy tale. Okay, everyone has seen fairy tales. All the boys also, I'm sure you must have, you know, seen some or other fairy tales on Disney, or you must have read about it, right? So let's suppose that in a castle out there somewhere, we have a beautiful princess waiting to be saved by a Prince Charming. And there comes along a Prince Charming, okay? Now, what's the problem? There is a dragon that is actually protecting this princess, okay? And he is not letting this guy go in. So now, this prince here thinks, how can I actually save the princess? So for that, he's like, okay, I know trigonometry, okay? I know trigonometry. Now, he does this calculation, okay? What calculation? So he thinks ki bhai, my height is about 5 feet. So we have a 5 feet prince, guys. Okay? Now, I am going to climb this castle up. Okay? I'm going to climb and I'm going to take the princess and run away. But for that, I will need the height of this castle, right? Now, what he does is, when the dragon is sleeping, he slowly goes till this point, okay? He slowly goes from here to here and measures the distance using his feet, okay? And he sees that this distance is 2000 feet. 2000 feet. This distance is 2000 feet. He measures this. Okay. Now, how will he know what distance should he climb? Why does this person requires the distance he needs to climb? Because he is going to use a rope, okay? And he needs to know the measure of the rope, okay? Chalo, it's all hypothetical, guys. Okay, so we will just make it up as we go. Now, what he does is, he first of all draws on his paper a figure like this. A figure like this. Okay, where this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. Hence, this is what? This is a rectangle. Can you see the rectangle, guys? All angles are 90 degrees. So, if this is 2000 feet, this is also 2000 feet. Okay, now he knows trigonometry and he does what? Using the sun's position in the sky, he is very smart. He figures out that the angle of, when he looks up, basically, when this guy looks up at the top of the tower where he has to climb, then his neck is making an angle of 45 degrees. His neck is making an angle of what? 45 degrees. This is 45 degrees. Okay? Now he just sees this triangle ABC. In this triangle ABC, this angle here is 45 degrees, this here is 2000 feet. So can he not figure out AB if he already knows trigonometry? He can, right? What he does is, he sees that, okay, tan 45 degrees would be equals to AB over BC. Tan 45 degrees is 1. As I told you in this chapter, you would need to know all the trigonometric ratios, right? So BC is equals to AB. So that means this is 2000 meters. Okay? Now we already know that this here was a rectangle. So this here, this thing would be equals to this thing here, which is 5 feet. So what's the total length of rope that he requires? The length of rope would be equal to, let's just suppose that this is D. Okay, so AD, which would be equals to 2000 plus 5. So 2005 feet. This is the amount of rope that he requires. Okay? So here guys, using trigonometry, we solved a very important problem, right? Now, you can also do that in real life, provided you know how to make these diagrams. Now, to make these diagrams, guys, you would first need to know some important things, some very basic things, which we are going to cover now. So, I want all of you people to please pay attention, and then only you can make this diagram. And once you are able to make the diagram, tab to this chapter is done. Okay, so same thing here. If the boy is wondering how tall is the tree, he can use trigonometry and we'll see how. ठीक है? तो सबसे पहले तो बच्चा बात करते हैं horizontal की. What is horizontal? ठीक है? But before that, when we are talking about some applications of trigonometry, so there are two things. One thing is the point of observation. What is it? Point of observation. From where any object is being observed. ठीक है? So point of observation. This is your point of observation. That's why I have made a I here. Okay? Now, bacha, why did I say point of observation? Because in most of the scenarios, if somebody is observing something, and their height is not given. For example, I am observing something and my height is not given. So, my height, we will assume, is point size. That means I have no height. Okay, this is all hypothetical. This helps us in solving the questions very easily. Okay, so point of observation in most of the cases, we would not consider any height. So that's why this is a point. But if in a question my height is given, okay, and I am observing something, okay, let's just suppose there is a girl, me, okay, and my height is given 5.4 feet. Okay, so then this here would be your point of observation. Why this is the point of observation, everyone? Because my eye is situated here above, right? So that's why we take this as the point of observation. Okay? And the entire object that is observing something is taken as a line segment. Cool, simple. So we have two kinds of points of observation. One point of observation would simply be a point like this, okay, lying on the ground or anywhere, and another would be a line segment where top point is considered as the point of observation. Okay, everyone? Okay. Now let's talk about horizontal. Okay, what is horizontal? So, bacha, horizontal is basically a horizontal or a sleeping line that is drawn from the point of observation. So, if I draw a straight line like this, or here if I draw a straight line like this, from the point of observation you draw a straight line, that is your horizontal. That is what? That is your horizontal, everyone. These are all basic stuff. A lot of people would be like, ma'am, we don't need to know this, but you need to know this, guys, because a lot of people don't even know these kinds of stuff, and that's why they are not able to make diagrams. Okay, so horizontal is always drawn straight from the point of observation. You can see both the scenarios, right? Okay, now let's talk about point being observed. Before talking about line of sight, we'll talk about point being observed. Okay, ji? Okay, so let's just suppose this is my point of observation. Okay, everyone? Now I am observing something that is, here. That means I'm looking up and observing something. Okay, everyone? So here this would be what? Point of observation. Point of observation. Wait. Sorry. This would be point being observed. My fault, guys. This would be point being observed. Being observed. Okay, this is what? This is point being observed. Understood? Now, is this the only scenario possible? No, right? Sometimes what could happen is, let's just suppose that I'm standing on a building. I'm standing on a building and I'm observing a car that is there on the ground. So there my point of observation would be up, while my point that is being observed, guys, point being observed would be down. This is my point being observed. Point being observed. Again, why am I calling this point? Because to make our work easier, we consider all of these things as points. Okay? So we have two scenarios, guys. Now, here, if I join both these points, the point of observation with the point being observed, that means whatever things I am observing and then from where I am observing, that points are joined, then I get the line of sight. What do I get? I get line of sight. Okay? So chalo, let's quickly make the line of sight, everyone. This here is your line of sight. This here is your line of sight. Okay, you can imagine this like this, ki if I am watching any car on the ground, so my line of sight, this here, this entire line segment would be the line of sight. That's it. It's as simple as that, right? Okay, line of sight. Line of sight. Here. Similarly, here also this is line of sight. Okay? Let me draw horizontal also here so that some things will become clear to you people. Okay? So if I make the horizontal, so this is my point of observation, everyone. So my horizontal would be something like this. Yes or no? This is my point of observation, this here. So my horizontal would be this. This is my horizontal. So here you can see in this scenario, the line of sight is above horizontal. So when I'm watching something, that is up. So what will happen? The line of sight would be above the horizontal. While here when we draw the line of sight, everyone, let's draw the line of, let's draw the horizontal. So horizontal would be this. Horizontal is always drawn from the point of observation. Remember, point of observation. Okay? So this here is my horizontal here. This here. This is my horizontal. So here you can see that the line of sight is below horizontal. So that means that whatever point is being observed, it's lying below the point from which it is being observed. For example, if I am observing a car down the street, standing on a building. Okay, so we have two scenarios. Understood? Very simple. Now people, let's talk about angle of depression and angle of elevation. Yahi se we will understand. Okay? So bacha, angle of elevation is formed when the line of sight is above the horizontal. That means when you have to look up to see something. Okay? So then what is formed? Angle of elevation. Okay? Elevation. Understood? And this is your angle of elevation. This here. Angle of elevation. Angle of elevation is formed when the line of sight is above the horizontal, and it is the angle between the line of sight and horizontal. ठीक है? Understood? Here, do we have angle of elevation? No. Why? Because clearly line of sight is below the horizontal. So when line of sight is below the horizontal, that means when you're looking down to see something, then angle of depression is formed. Okay? And again, angle of depression is the same thing. Between horizontal and line of sight, angle of depression is formed. Okay? But the situation is different. Okay? So this here is your angle of depression. These are the only things you need to know in order to be good at this chapter, guys. That's it. Okay? So let's just revise, guys. Angle of elevation is formed when the line of sight is above the horizontal, and it's the angle between horizontal and line of sight, right? Now, one situation is you have a point size object and something is here, right? So this is your angle of elevation. This here is your angle of elevation. Another scenario is that the height of the thing that is observing something is given, okay, and this point is being observed, okay. So our horizontal would be this. This is horizontal, everyone. It's always drawn from the eye of the observer, so that means top here, and this is your line of sight, right? So this here is the angle of elevation, line of sight. We are going to do lots and lots of problems where all of these things will become clear to you. Okay? Now, similarly, angle of depression is formed when the point of observation is here and point being observed is down, right? So here, this is the line of sight. This is the horizontal, guys. Sorry. Let's make it like this, na? Yes. So line of sight, horizontal. Now, please pay attention. You know here. See, this is your angle of depression. Okay, everyone. Okay. Now, to make your questions easier, what we can do in questions is, we can make another line from the point being observed. This is point being observed, right? This here is point being observed. So, from here we can make another line, everyone, like this. Okay? Such that this line here is parallel to this line here. And it will be, okay, we are making a horizontal line from the object that is being observed. Why did we do that? Because if both these lines are parallel, which they will be, then both of these angles will be equal. So if this angle is x, everyone, this angle will also be x. This is very helpful while we are doing problems. So please make sure that you note this. Okay, understood? So now when we are making triangles now, then you can easily without getting confused, you can easily figure out things. So please remember, when you have angle of depression, you can always make a horizontal line from the object that is being observed, and you can say that this angle here is equal to this angle. Okay, ji? Okay. Now, with that, guys, we are going to start with questions. But first of all, I want you people to pause the video. I want you people to go through this entire trigonometric table so that you can do all the questions alongside me. Okay? So please pause the video and go through this entire trigonometric table, mug it up and revise it up so that we can do questions together. Okay, I hope you did that, guys. Chaliye, with that, we will start with the very first question that came in 2025. It's a 1-marker question, a very easy one at that. You are given a figure here, guys. You can see that the observer is here and the object is here. So object is lying below the observer. When that happens, angle of depression is formed always, right? So they are simply asking you to tell which angle represents the angle of depression. That's it. The different angles are mentioned here. You have to tell which angle is angle of depression. Angle of depression is formed how? It is formed between the horizontal and the line of sight. Since this is the observer, everyone, clearly this would be the horizontal. It's always drawn from the observer. Okay, and this here is the line of sight. And good for you guys, they have mentioned both of these things. So clearly the angle between them, which is angle Z, is the correct answer. Yes. So what's the correct answer, everyone? All the people that gave the correct answer, pat yourself on the back, guys. Z is the correct answer. Now a lot of people will have this confusion. Let me erase this up. They'll be like, ma'am, you told us that this angle here must be equal to this angle here. They are both equal. Right? If I draw a horizontal from the object, then clearly both these lines are parallel. So Z and X are equal. So why is X not the answer? देखो यहाँ पर ना, have some common sense. We are not being asked to prove that these two angles are equal or something like that. We are simply asked angle of depression. So angle of depression is this angle. This question is directly based on the definition of angle of depression. So that's why Z is the answer. X is equals to Z, but that's another point. Okay, understood, everyone? Chaliye ji. So with that, guys, very easy question. Let's move on. Now, a kite is flying at a height of 150 meters from the ground. Okay, it is attached to a string inclined at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. The length of the string is. Now, people, we are going to make some figures, so pay attention. Okay, chaliye. So first of all, we have a kite, everyone. So this is your kite. You can see that for the kite, nothing is given, like no height, nothing. So you will consider it as a point size object. This is my object. ठीक है? It is flying at a height of 150 meter from the ground. Whenever height from the ground is given, this thing is this much meter above the ground. Remember, perpendicular height is given. Perpendicular, straight height is given. ठीक है? So this is perpendicular height. You should never get confused in this. That means that from this kite, if you draw a straight line to the ground, then the straight line here is the distance of the kite from the ground, perpendicular distance, and it is 150 meters, guys. Please pay attention on how we are making the figure. This is important. Okay, now it is attached to a string inclined at an angle of 30 degrees. Now, think about it, guys. When you're flying kite, it's not like you are flying kite like this. ऐसे तो नहीं होता. The kite always is flying somewhere like this, right? So that means from somewhere here a boy or somebody is flying the kite. Okay? So they have given us ki the string that joins the kite with this with this boy here. So this string is making an angle of elevation of 30 degree to the horizontal. So यहाँ पर this would be your horizontal, everyone. This is your horizontal. I'll mention everything. This is your horizontal, everyone. Okay? Horizontal is always drawn from the point being observed. Okay? So from here, this is the horizontal. This is the string, everyone. And the angle being made by the string with the horizontal is the angle of elevation. That is given to be 30 degrees. ठीक है? This is the figure. Now you have to figure out the length of the string. So let me name this triangle as ABC. Now first of all, guys, this is a right angle triangle. Is it or is it not? Why? Because as I told you, whenever the height of something is given, then that height is basically perpendicular height. Okay? So this here is a right angle triangle. Now in this right angle triangle, I know an angle, I know one side, guys. Can I not figure out the other side? Okay? So we have to figure out AC. Right? So to figure out AC, think about it. BC is given. I have to figure out AC. Now here you have to use some common sense. Ki bhai, what trigonometric ratio relates this perpendicular? This is perpendicular या opposite? Opposite with hypotenuse. I have to relate opposite with hypotenuse because opposite is given. Hypotenuse we have to figure out. Okay? So what trigonometric ratio is that? I want the answers. Come on. The answer is sine. Sine relates opposite with hypotenuse, right? Not perpendicular, opposite with hypotenuse. है ना? ठीक है. तो opposite is 150. Hypotenuse we have to figure out. ठीक है? So I can just write hypotenuse is AC. Now sine 30 degrees is what, everyone? It is equals to 1 by 2, right? So 1 by 2 is equals to 150 over AC. From here you can say that, okay, AC is equals to 300 meters. What's the answer, everyone? The answer is AC is equals to 300 meters. Everyone that gave the correct answer, pat yourself on the back. Good job. ठीक है? Understood? We had to figure out the hypotenuse. That's the length of the string. ठीक है? And what was important? The important thing was to know the value of sine 30 degrees. If you didn't know that, everything's like go gone, right? Okay, so yes, with that, guys, let's move on to another problem. Now I hope that you can make the figures alongside me. In fact, make it faster than me. Okay, chaliye. If a pole 6 meter high casts a shadow of 2√3 meter long on the ground, the sun's angle of elevation is. Chalo, let's understand something. How shadows are formed, guys. I am not very good at science, but still, think about it. We have a pole and I am taking the pole as a line segment. Okay? When something's height is given, then you always take it as a line segment. Height is not given, you will take it as a point. Okay, ji? Okay. Now think about it. If I have to think about its shadow, how will it be made? So let's just suppose this is my sun, everyone. Now we will take only one ray of sun. Okay? So let's take it here. So a ray of sun comes along like this and it hits the ground here. It hits the ground here. So there are multiple rays of sun that are coming, but just to make this thing easier, I have just shown that one ray of sun, hits the top and then comes here at the bottom. So that means that the shadow of this pole here would start from here, obviously, okay, and end here, right? So this here is the shadow of the pole. This is what? This is the shadow of the pole. Okay, understood? Now let me denote the shadow of the pole using a line segment. So here I have denoted it using a line segment. Okay, so let me mention everything here, everyone. This is the pole. This is the shadow. Now, what do we mean by angle of elevation of sun? So, by angle of elevation of sun, I mean that from this point here on the ground, what angle is the sun forming with the horizontal? Horizontal is this, right? So, sun is forming what angle? This angle. So, this is said to be angle of elevation of the sun. Angle of elevation of the sun. ठीक है, you should know this basics because you get a lot of questions on shadows, guys. Okay, understood. Now, let's mark everything, guys. This is A, this is B, and this is C. The pool's height, good for you, is given to be 6 meters, everyone. Okay, this is given as 6 meters. The shadow is also given as 2√3 meters. 2√3 meters. You have to find the angle here, the theta here. Okay, let's just suppose that the angle is theta. So, how can you find theta? So, for that, think कि I know two sides here, right? So, these two sides here, what trigonometric ratio are they forming? So, I know that AB by BC for this theta here would be equal to tan theta, right? Tan theta is equals to AB by BC. Again, why did I take tan theta? Because AB and BC's length were given and their ratio is tan theta. Okay? So, AB is given as 6, BC is given as 2√3, everyone. So, from here you can say that, okay, tan theta is equals to √3. For what value of theta will tan theta become √3? 60 degrees. Yes. So, this √3 I am writing it as tan 60 degrees. So, from here I have already told you this in trigonometric ratio wala thing ki when trigonometric ratios are same on both the sides, then angles also become equal, right? So, from here you will say that, okay, theta is equals to 60 degrees. So, angle of elevation of the sun, everyone, is equals to 60 degrees. So, all the people that made the diagram before me, gave the answer before me. Kya baat hai, clap yourself, on the back, guys. Well done, good job. And yes, keep doing that. Okay? Chalo, I want everyone to make the diagram before me. Okay? Chaliye, let's do that for the next question, everyone. The angle of depression of a car parked on the road from the top of a 150-meter high tower is 30 degrees. The distance of the car from the tower is. So, height of the tower is given to you. That means you are going to take the tower as a straight line segment. So, this is my tower, everyone. Okay? So, from the top of the tower, that means the point of observation is here. From the top of a tower, a car is being observed. So, this here, from here, this is the point of observation and this is the car that is being observed. Why did I take the car as point size? Because no height, no dimensions of the car is given. So, it's a point size object. Okay, ji? Okay. Now, everyone, first of all, let's make the angle of depression. So, to make the angle of depression, you will draw the horizontal first. So, this here is your horizontal. This is your horizontal, always from the point of observation, right? What's the line of sight, everyone? The line of sight would be this. This here is the line of sight, right? Line of sight. And what is the angle of depression? This is the angle of depression. It is given to you as 30 degrees. Can you see that this is given as 30 degrees? Angle of depression is given as 30 degrees. Okay? We have to find the distance of the car from the tower. So, when they are talking about finding the distance of the car from the tower, so this is the car, guys, and from the tower, when they are asking you to find the distance, that means they want you to find the distance from the car to the foot of the tower. So, they want you to find this line segment's length. Understood? This line segment's length. Cool? Chalo. So, now, let me mention everything. This is A here. this is A, this is B, this is C. ठीक है, अब everyone, as I've told you that whenever you have angle of depression, then if you draw, this is the horizontal, and if you draw another line segment from the object being observed like this horizontally, so both of these will be parallel to each other, and hence this angle would be equals to this angle, which is 30 degrees. Why did I do that? Because I wanted BC na, and BC is a part of triangle ABC. Right? So that's why I took this angle as 30 degrees. Now I know that this tower is 150-meter high. So I can easily figure out BC. Right? Now what trigonometric ratio relates AB with BC? Because AB is given, BC we have to find. So I need a trigonometric ratio that relates both of these. So that's a very simple ratio, guys, tan theta. Right? So tan 30 degrees is equals to AB by BC. Now AB is equals to 150, BC we don't know, tan 30 is 1 over root 3, right? So now from here, can we not figure out BC? We can write BC is equals to 150 root 3 meters, everyone. So the distance of the car from the foot of the tower is 150 root 3. Everyone that gave the answer before me, kya baat hai guys, well done, good job. Well done. Okay? So I hope you understood this. Very easy, very simple. Chalo. So with that, guys, let's move on to the next question. It's a question of NCERT, has come in board exams also. Yes. So yes, let's pay attention. Two poles of equal heights. Okay, we have two poles of equal heights, and they are standing opposite each other on either side of the road, which is 80-meter wide. So guys, let's understand this. We have a road. Sorry. Yes. So we have a road. Let's just suppose this is my road, everyone. Okay? And on either side of the road, we have poles that are standing up like this. Okay? These are the poles that are standing up. They are of equal height. It's given to you. Now, from a point between them on the road. So, from any point between the two, poles, let's just suppose this is the point. Okay? The angle of elevation of the top of the poles is given as 60 degrees and 30 degrees, right? So, angle of elevation of the top of the pole. So, this is the top of the pole, this is the top of another pole. So, angle of elevation is given. Angle of elevation matlab you will draw horizontal from this point of observation, right? And you will draw another horizontal from this point of observation. So, this is one angle of elevation, this is another angle of elevation. Okay, this is given to you. You have to figure out the height of the poles and the distance of the poles from the point. So first of all, this diagram here is not cutting out for me. Like I am very confused here. So I'll make a better diagram. Okay, ji? Chalo. So let's focus on making a better diagram. So for that, I will draw both the poles, and since they are of equal height, I will make sure my line segments are equal in height. Okay, everyone? Okay. Now, let's suppose this is the width of the road. Okay, this here is the width of the road. I'll make it again. This here is the width of the road, everyone. Okay? This is the width of the road. Now, between the two poles, they have taken a point, right? So, let's just take a point here. Here. Let's just take, this is the point. Okay? Point B. Now, I am taking my poles to be A, B and C, D respectively, so that my, entire thing becomes clear to me. Okay. Wait a minute, guys. Give me a moment. Okay, magic. Okay. Sorry. Now, from this point P, guys, if the top of one tower is being observed, then angle of elevation is given, right? So, let's quickly make the line of sight from this point P. Okay, point P is the point of observation and A point is the point being observed. Okay, then another thing, everyone, from point P, the top of another tower is also being observed. Okay, so we have made the line of sight. Now, there are two angle of elevation. This is one angle of elevation. This is another angle of elevation. I hope you can see. What is the problem though? The problem is which angle to take 60 degree and which to take 30 degrees. Teko bacha. Now here comes common sense. Think about it. Okay? If you are farther down the line, and you're observing the top of any building, Okay, think about it. Let's just suppose that the angle is alpha, angle of elevation is alpha, right? But once you move closer to the building and again observe the top of the building, your head will be inclined a little bit more up. Yes or no? As you go nearer to the building, your head will keep on inclining more up. That means as you go nearer to a building, the angle of elevation of the building rises. Yes, common sense. अब यहाँ पर again think about it. Both the towers are of equal height. So if this point P is farther from one tower, then the angle of elevation of the top here would be less as compared to the angle of elevation of this building. Why? Because from here, if somebody has to see the top, that is point A, then they will have to incline their head more up as compared to point C. So that means this here is the larger angle while this here is the smaller angle. ठीक है, यहाँ पर बच्चा देखो, it didn't matter, you could have taken 30 degree here, 60 degree here, you would get the answer. But the problem is, finally when you had to figure out the distances of the point from the poles, then it would have mattered, like did you take the angles correctly or not. ठीक है, तो I hope you understood this. This is very simple but very important. Okay, चलो. Sorry. हाँ जी. What is happening? Wait. हाँ, this is okay. हाँ जी, ठीक है, चलो. So अब let's start with the problem here. First of all, let's just take, this is 80, BD is 80, right? BD is what? 80. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to take BP as X. I'm going to take BP as X. So if I take BP as X, PD would automatically becomes 80 minus X. Yes or no? Right? Chalo, let's write. Let AB and CD, AB and CD be the two towers. Be the two towers. Okay, everyone, you will have to write, what line segment is what. That is important. Okay, now here I am taking BP be X meters. If BP is X meter, then automatically PD will be 80 minus X meters. Okay, everyone. Okay. Chalo. Now I have to figure out first of all the height of both the poles. Okay, both the towers. Sorry. That means I have to figure either AB or CD, both of them are equal. Now, how will I do that? So, I can do what? I can first take, I can first figure out AB's length. That will come in terms of X. Yes or no? Then I can figure out CD's length in terms of X. And I can then equate both of these. Yes. So, what I will do? I will take triangles ABP first. So in triangle ABP, I can use tan 60 degrees everyone to figure out the value of AB in terms of X. Right? So AB by X. So from here you can say that, okay, X is equals to AB by root 3 because tan 60 degrees is root 3. So from here you can say that AB is equals to X root 3 meters. Okay, you figured out the value of AB. Now let's focus on figuring out the value of CD. So for that you are going to take another right angle triangle, which is in triangle CDP. In triangle CDP, what will you have? Again, you will take tan of 30 degrees this time, which is equals to the opposite over base or opposite over adjacent, right? So I can just write PD as 80 minus X here, right? So 80 minus X. Now tan 30 degrees is 1 over root 3. So 1 over root 3 is equals to CD over 80 minus X. So from here you can say that, okay, CD is equals to 80 minus X over root 3 meters. Right, everyone? Simple, easy. Okay, now I know that AB and CD are equal. Okay? So if I know that AB and CD are equal, I'm going to put them equal. And let's see what we are going to get. Okay? So now guys, AB is equals to CD. Gives us what? So AB is equals to X root 3 meters. X root 3 meters. And CD is equals to 80 minus X over root 3. Now this is easy to solve, everyone. You will take root 3 on the other side. You will get 3X. Then this negative X comes here. So plus X is equals to 80. And from here you get X is equals to 20 meters. The value of X comes out to be 20 meters. ठीक है, okay? Now, what all things you can figure out? So first of all, let's figure out the height of both the towers, right? So AB and CD, both of them are equal. So I can easily take this 20 meter and put it here, okay? So I can say that, I'll write here, AB is equals to x root 3. What is x? 20, right? So 20 root 3 meters. And so is CD. Both of them are equal, it's given, right? So CD is equals to AB is equals to 20 root 3. Now I have to figure out the distance of point P from both the poles, right? So I have to figure out BP first, but BP is very easy, it's x only. So it would be equals to 20 meters. And what would be PD, everyone? PD would be equals to 80 minus x. That is 80 minus 20. So that is equals to 60 meters. This is your final answer. All of these you had to figure out. All of these. ठीक है, understood? So this here was an important question. Now guys, a lot of people, a lot of students have confusion. Ki ma'am, should I leave root 3 as it is or should I plug in the value of root 3 as 1.73? So bacha, that depends on your question. If it is given in your question that use root 3 as 1.73, then plug the value of root 3 as 1.73. And if it is not given, then you can leave your answer like this. But make sure that if the root is in denominator, then you rationalize your answer. So we'll come to questions like that also. Okay? But make sure that you rationalize the denominator. Okay? Chalo. So I hope everyone understood. With that, let's move on. And everyone that got the answer before me, guys, kya baat hai? Well done, well done. Chalo. The shadow of a tower standing on a level ground is found to be 40 meters longer when the sun's altitude is 30 degrees. Then when it was 60 degrees, find the height of the tower and the length of the original shadow. So let's start by making the diagram. So here, first of all, we have to take the tower as a straight line because we have to find the height of the tower. So we have to figure out the, line segment's length, right? So this here is your tower. Now they are talking about two instances. One instance is when the sun's angle of elevation is 30 degrees and another is when sun's angle of elevation is 60 degrees. Okay? Chalo, let's understand guys, pay attention. When you are talking about sun's, angle of elevation as 30 degrees, okay? So here, let me make this. This here, this is the sun ray and it's coming like this. Okay? Okay, this came out to be big, but okay, no problem. Okay, so this here is one angle of elevation, guys. This here is one angle of elevation. Okay, I'm not talking about which angle of elevation it is right now, but this is one angle of sun's elevation. Okay, how we figured out? I hope you understood. We have done a similar question. Okay, you will take a ray that touches this top of the tower or yes, tower and comes here. Okay, okay. Now next up, this, let's suppose sun has moved here. Sun has moved where? Sun has moved here. Okay? Now what would be the angle of elevation of the same sun? So for that, again, I will draw another line. Let's just suppose this is the line. Okay? And let's suppose, wait, this shadow is too small, guys. Let me make an, one more sun, अच्छे से, ठीक है? This is another sun. ठीक है? Okay. Now let's make the line here. Okay, this is better, guys. ठीक है? So this is another instant when the sun has moved, in the sky, and now the angle of elevation is this. This is the angle of elevation. ठीक है, everyone? Oh. Ha, this is the angle of elevation. This here is the angle of elevation. Now the question is, which angle of elevation is 30 degrees and which angle of elevation is 60 degrees? So now people, I think it would be common sense for you people to guess ki bhai, when you are from this point, think about it, from this point when you're watching the sun, and then from this point you're watching the sun, when do you have to incline your neck much up? At this point. Yes or no? At this point. So this must be bigger angle and this must be smaller angle. Yes? Did you understand? So what was the relationship between the angle of elevation and the position of sun? So when sun is, let's just suppose this is sun being overhead. This is sun being overhead, right? So when the sun is here and when the sun is here, so here the angle of elevation would be greater as compared to here. So as the sun is moving toward heads up here, the angle of elevation keeps on increasing, right? So angle of elevation keeps on increasing. Similarly, again, as the sun moves down, the angle of elevation will keep decreasing. Okay, so this is how angle of elevation works. So I hope you understood this. Okay, chalo. Or if you did not understand, think about it from this position ki when you're watching from here and when you're watching from here, when do you have to incline your neck more up? That's easy. That's easy, I think. Hai na? Okay, chalo. Ab let's focus on doing this problem here. So this is the tower AB. AB is the tower, everyone. Now CB is one shadow which is formed when the angle of elevation is 60 degree, and DB is another shadow which is being formed when the angle of elevation of the sun is 30 degrees. Okay, everyone. Now here, what do we have to find? We have to find AB. Okay? So, chalo, let's start. AB, B, the tower. Okay, everyone? Okay. Now, this is, they are saying the shadow of the tower standing on a level ground is found to be 40 meter longer when the sun's altitude is 30 degrees. So, when the sun's altitude is 30 degrees, the shadow is found to be 40 meter larger. So, pehle the shadow was this, now the shadow is this. So, the new shadow is 40 meters longer. So, what is given to you? DC is given to you, guys. DC is the amount that the previous shadow is smaller than the larger shadow. Right? Okay? So, chalo, let's write that down also. DC is equals to 40 meters. Now, what I'll do is, I will take CB to be X. I will take CB to be X. This is just for me. Like, I want to make my calculation easy, right? So, CB be X. Be X meters. Okay, understood, everyone. Now, let me just erase this because this is very hush-posh. Okay, CB. This is X meters. This is better. Okay. Ab, let's start with the first triangle here. So what my motto is to figure out the value of AB in terms of X by using this first triangle, and then in this bigger triangle again I'll figure out the value of AB using this 30 degree wala thing. Okay, and that would also come in terms of X. So I can just equate both of these and I'll get the value of X, and then I can get the value of AB also very easily. Okay, chalo. So tan 60 degrees is equals to what? It would be equals to AB over X. Okay, this we are taking which triangle? I'll write in triangle ABC. Triangle ABC. Okay, so from here you can say that, okay, X is equals to AB by root 3. AB by root 3. Okay, so this is one thing, everyone. Now let's move on to the second triangle. Okay, so in second triangle I can say that, okay, tan 30 degrees would be opposite, that is AB, over this base or adjacent, that is DC. But DC is what? X plus 40, right? So X plus 40. X plus 40. Okay. Now, from here we can say that, okay, 1 over root 3 is equals to AB over X plus 40. Okay. Now, what we can do here, everyone, we can do another thing also. We can plug in the value of X as AB by root 3. Okay, let's do that because that would give me the value of AB really fast. I will not have to figure out the value of X. So, I can say that, okay, I'll write here. From 1, I can take X and I can put it in this 1 by root 3 is equals to AB over, now in place of X I am writing AB by root 3. Okay? So AB by root 3 plus 40. Okay, chalo. Now here let's just simplify this, everyone. So on simplification I'll get this. AB by root 3 plus 40 is equals to AB root 3. Let's take all the ABs together. Okay, so I'll bring this here. So I'll get what? AB over root 3 minus AB root 3. Sorry, let's just do this again. I'll take AB by root 3 on the right hand side. That would be easier. Okay? So AB root 3 minus AB over root 3 is equals to 40. So now here I'll have 3A. I can take the denominator same, right? So 3AB minus AB is twice of AB. So twice of AB by root 3 is equals to 40. So from here I get AB as 20 root 3. You cannot leave your answer here though. Why? They have asked you to use root 3 as 1.73. So you can't now write your answer like this. Okay, you'll have to use root 3 as 1.73. So let's do that, everyone. So AB will come out to be 20 into 1.73 meters. Okay, so that would be 14. It would come out to be 34.6 meters. Okay, I'll just write it again, sorry. 34.6 meters. 34.6 meters. Okay, everyone? That's it. This is what we had to find. Chalo ji. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? This question came in 2024, so a pretty important question, guys. Chaliye. So with that, guys, let's move on and discuss this problem here. Acha, sorry, let's go back and we have to figure out one more thing. I'm so sorry. We had to figure out the height of the tower, that we did. We also have to figure out the length of the original shadow. So length of the original shadow would be what? So dekho yahan par, the shadow of a tower standing at a level ground is found to be 40 meters longer when the sun's altitude is 30 degrees than when it was 60 degrees. So basically the original shadow would be the shadow formed when the sun was here. ठीक है, पहले वाला केस होगा, राइट? सो दैट मीन्स वी हैव टू फिगर आउट द वैल्यू ऑफ dB. ठीक है, सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट. थिंक ऑफ इट. ओरिजिनल मतलब जो पहले हुआ. पहले क्या हुआ? सन केम हियर फर्स्ट एंड देन वेंट देयर, राइट? सो वी हैव टू फिगर आउट dB आल्सो. ठीक है, चलो. सो लेट्स फिगर आउट dB, एवरीवन. dB इज इक्वल्स टू x plus 40. What's the value of x though? We don't know that, but no worries. I know that x is AB by root 3. X is AB by root 3, right? Here we have figured it out. So AB was 20 root 3. I'll write it here. AB was 20 root 3 and then divided by root 3 plus 40. So this would come out to be 60 meters. So the length of the original shadow was 60 meters. Okay, so make sure that you see what all is asked in the question and give all the answer. Okay, don't make silly mistake like me. Chaliye, with that, let's move on, guys, and discuss this problem here. A pole 6 meters high is fixed on the top of a tower. Okay, we have a tower, we have a pole. Okay, so first of all, let's just make the tower, everyone. This here is my tower. On the top of this tower, a pole is fixed, right? So this here is my pole. Let me make the pole again. Yes, this is my pole, everyone. Okay. Now, the angle of elevation of the top of the pole. So, this is the top of the pole, everyone. This is the top of the pole. So, the angle of elevation of the top of the pole from a point P on the ground is 60 degrees. So, there is a point P on the ground and the angle of elevation of this top here is 60 degrees. So, to make angle of elevation, you will make the horizontal first. So, this is the horizontal, everyone. Let's just make this again. फिर से बनाते हैं. Yeah. Sorry. P and this is the horizontal. Okay, now it's okay. Okay, this is the horizontal and this here is the line of sight. This here is the horizontal, this is the line of sight. The angle of elevation is given to be what? It is given to be 60 degrees. This here. ठीक है जी, okay. Now, the angle of depression of the point P, from the top of the tower is 45 degrees. Understand what they are trying to say. They are saying that from the top of the tower, tower. This is the top of the tower, everyone. Yes, this is the top of the tower. Now, from this top of the tower, point P is being observed. Point P is being observed. So, this is the point of observation, guys, and this here is the point being observed. And in that case, the angle of depression is being told. Okay? So, this here is what? This here is the horizontal for the second case. Okay? This here is the line of sight for the second case, everyone. Understood? I'm so sorry, this line here is thoda sa slanting, but it is a horizontal line. Okay? So now what is the angle of depression? The angle of depression is this angle here. It's given as 45 degrees. Did you understand the second scenario? Okay? So this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is P. Okay? Ab, if this here, clearly this here is parallel to this. Okay? Always the horizontal at the ground is parallel to the horizontal here. Okay? So that means that this angle is 45 degrees. We can say that. We have already studied that. Okay? So ab, this is my complete diagram. Now I will work. Okay? What do we have to find? I have to find the height of the tower. So the tower is AB. I have to find AB, and I have to find the distance of point P from the foot of the tower. So I have to find the distance of P from the foot of the tower. That means I have to find AP. So AB and AP we have to find, everyone. Okay? So सबसे पहले what we are going to write? We are going to write let AB be the tower. Okay? And BC be the pole. Okay? The length of BC is given as 6 meters. You can clearly see. So this BC is given as 6 meters. Another thing that we are going to say is this. We'll write it down here. Okay? So angle XBP is equals to angle BPA is equals to 45 degrees. Okay? Why? Because they are alternate interior angle. Please write that down also, okay? Because it's not directly given that this angle is 45 degrees. This is something we got from our own reasoning. Okay? Chalo, ab let's start. ठीक है जी, I have to figure out AB, I have to figure out BP. AB and AP. ठीक है? The first thing what I do is I take this triangle here. I take this wala triangle here, ye wala triangle, okay? And in this triangle, if I use trigonometric ratio wala thing, so I know that this angle is 45 degrees. So if I use tan 45 degrees, I'll figure out that AB and AP are both equal, okay? So what I will do, everyone, I will first of all write that, okay? Sorry. ठीक है, in triangle ABP, tan 45 degrees is equals to what? Tan 45 degrees is equals to AB by AP. ठीक है, tan 45 degrees is 1, so AB and AP are equal, and let them be equals to x meters. Let them equal to x meter, and we have to figure out the value of x only. What we have to do? We have to figure out the value of x. Why did I do that though? Because देखो बच्चा, in this bigger triangle APC, in this bigger triangle APC, one of the side that is opposite would be 6 plus x, opposite to 60 degree angle. Opposite to 60 degree angle, one of the side would be 6 plus x. Another side would be x. So I will have the ratio of both these sides in terms of x. And I already know the value of the ratio, it would be tan 60 degrees. So can I not figure out the value of x? I can, right? So let's do that, okay? So ab in a triangle CPA, okay? Tan 60 degrees is equals to CA या AC by AP. I know AC is equals to 6 plus x. I know AP is equals to x, and I know tan 60 degrees is equals to root 3. So root 3 is equals to 6 plus x over x. Okay, everyone? Okay. Now, let's just evaluate this here. So what do I have? I have x root 3 is equals to 6 plus x. So from here, I can take x common and bring x here on the left hand side. So I'll have root 3 minus 1 in bracket multiplied with x is equals to 6. So x is equals to 6 over root 3 minus 1. Now people, they have asked you to use root 3 as 1.73. Now don't be an idiot and plug the root 3 as 1.73 yahi par. Like, okay, I'll plug it 1.73 here and I'll have 6 over 0.73. Now people, do you understand how hard and complex this calculation is? So why to do that? Why do we want to do that? Okay, so that's why in mathematics we are always taught to rationalize the denominator. To rationalize the denominator so that in denominator you don't have root. Okay, and then plug in the value of the root thing in numerator. ठीक है, तो चलो let's rationalize it. So to rationalize it, I will multiply the numerator and denominator by root 3 plus 1. I hope you have studied 9th grade first chapter जहाँ पर you have been taught this. ठीक है, why did I do that everyone? Because here an identity is being formed in the denominator. What is that identity? A minus b, a plus b. So that is a square minus b square. So here we'll have 3 minus 1, which is 2. So now I'll have 3 root 3 plus 1. Now I can plug in all the values. Okay, so now plug in the value of root 3 as 1.73 and let's see what we are getting. So x is equals to 3 into root 3 plus 1 is 2.73. Now let's multiply and see what we are getting. 3 into 3 is 9, 7 3 is 21, 21, 2, 8. So 8.19 meters is the answer. This is the value of x. Now, x is the length of the tower. X is also the distance of point P from A. So, x is the final answer. Okay? So, I'll write it here. AP is equals to AB is equals to 8.19 meters. Okay, everyone? Height of the tower and the distance of point P from the foot of the tower. Simple, easy. ठीक है, चलिए. All the people that gave the answer before me, क्या बात है, well done guys, you are doing great. And all the people that are still getting confused in drawing the diagrams or are getting stuck on how to, after drawing the diagram, how to approach the problem. No worries guys, it's just the lack of practice. ठीक है, so stay with me, keep practicing alongside me. You will get better. Pakka. ठीक है, so come on, have some confidence and let's do this problem here. A 1.2 meter tall girl spots a balloon moving with the wind in a horizontal line at a height of 88.2 meters from the ground. The angle of elevation of the balloon from the eyes of the girl at any instant is 60 degrees. After some time, the angle of elevation reduces to 30 degrees. Find the distance traveled by the balloon during this interval. This is the question directly from NCERT, guys. Chalo, let's start. You have a girl, guys. And the height of the girl or the, the height of the girl basically is given. So this time you will not take the girl to be point size. You will take it as a line segment because her height is given. Okay? So this is my girl, everyone. Okay? And how long is she? 1.2 meters. So this is given 1.2 meter. So let AB be the girl. Let AB be the girl. Okay? So I'll quickly write AB is the girl. Okay, now, she spots a balloon moving with the wind. Now, you can see that nowhere in the question the dimensions or anything what the balloon is given, right? So, balloon is a point size object. So, let's suppose this is my balloon. At one point, this is my balloon and it's moving with the wind. And it is at a height of 88.2 meter from the ground. What did I tell you about height of anything from the ground? The height is always perpendicular, right? So, they are saying that the distance of this balloon from the ground, everyone, from the ground is what? It is 88.2 meters. Okay? Okay. Now, they have also said that this balloon here is moving horizontally. That means it is traveling like this only. It's not going up, it's not going down. It's just moving in a straight line like this. Okay? So, at every point in our question, the distance of this balloon from the ground is what? 88.2 meters. Okay? That is what they mean by this. Okay. Now, the angle of elevation of the balloon from the eyes of the girl at any instant is 60 degrees. So, let's just suppose that this first instance that we took, at this instant, the angle of elevation is 60 degrees. Okay? So, how will you find the angle of elevation? So, again, you will start by drawing horizontal. What would be the horizontal, everyone? So, remember in this case, the horizontal would be this because the eye of the girl is here, right? So, we'll take the eye to be here. So, that's why the horizontal is drawn from the eye of the observer, right? So, from here. Okay. Now, this here is the line of sight because this is the balloon being observed. So, the angle of elevation would be what? It would be equals to 60 degrees. This is what we took. Okay. Now, After some time, the angle of elevation reduces to 30 degrees. अब यहाँ पर you have to think कि okay, the angle of elevation is getting reduced. So is my balloon moving in this direction or in that direction? Because balloon can move in either direction. I don't know, right? It's not given. तो यहाँ पर you'll use your brain कि भाई अगर balloon would have reduced in the direction, the balloon would have come in the direction of the girl like this, then automatically the angle of elevation would be higher because she'll have to, incline her neck more up to see the same balloon, right? But they are saying that the angle of elevation has been reduced, not increased. So if the angle of elevation is getting reduced, the balloon is moving farther down the line, right? Because then previously if she was seeing the balloon like this, now if the balloon is there, so she will reduce the angle of elevation of her neck, right? So that's why the balloon is moving where? The balloon is moving away from the girl. Okay? So the another point that you will take would be, yeah, if this was the first point, another point, let's just suppose is here. And remember, in the same line. Okay? So P and Q. Q is the second point where we are taking it. Okay? Now we'll talk, the angle of elevation will draw. So again, horizontal will remain same, guys, right? Horizontal will be this only. I'll just extend this horizontal. I will just extend this horizontal like this. Okay? The horizontal is from the eye of the observer only. Wait, let me make this again. This is better. Okay. Now what would be the line of sight? The line of sight would look something like this. Okay. Now let's complete this entire diagram. Okay. So to complete the diagram, what I'll do is I will just draw this line segment here. This is my ground, everyone. Okay. And now this point, all these points will mark. Okay. So let's just suppose this is R, this is S, this is T, this is M. Okay. So we have made this entire diagram. At the end, you will just make triangles or just complete the diagram. Okay. Now we have this diagram. What do we need to find? We have to find the distance traveled by the balloon during this interval. So we have to find PQ. What we have to find, everyone? We have to find PQ. This is what we have to find. Now, let's stop here for a moment. I have to find PQ. ठीक है जी, okay. But think about it. If I take PMSQ, it's a quadrilateral, 4 sides, right? Moreover, this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. Why is this 90 degree? Because I have told you that PM is the horizontal perpendicular distance of the balloon from the ground. Same QS. Okay? So that means that this here, these two angles are 90 degrees each. Okay? In fact, PQSM, if you see, is what? It's a rectangle. It's what? It's rectangle. See, PM is equals to QS because PM and QS are what? They are the perpendicular distance of the balloon from the ground. Okay? They are equal. Okay? So if two sides are equal, two angles are 90 degree, it is what? Rectangle. And if it is a rectangle, guys, then PQ is equals to MS. What do you need to find? You need to find MS. Or Abhi, or chalte. Chalo, come on. Now, think about this small thing here. This small thing here. Yeah. Again, this is a rectangle. Same logic, guys. These two 90 degree. Okay, even these two are 90 degree. This here are rectangle. So that means RT is also equal to SM. So ultimately, if we just figure out RT or if we just figure out SM, whatever you want to find, then PQ will come. Okay, because all of these are equal. Okay, chalo. So once you get this, let's start. So AB is the girl, everyone. Now another thing is P and Q be the balloons position. ठीक है, इतना काफी है? Okay, everyone. Now let's start. So first of all, I know that this smaller angle is 30 degrees. This angle is 30 degrees. Okay, this angle is 30 degrees. Now can you see a right angle triangle here? I can. Okay, this here AQR is one right angle triangle. Okay. Now if I talk about AQR here, so what can I get? So I know that this entire PM is 88.2. This entire PM is 88.2. Okay, so that means this entire QS is also 88.2. 88.2. Okay. But I don't need QS, I need QR. Why? Because in this triangle here, ye wala triangle that you can see, I'll show you. In this triangle here, everyone, I am planning to use trigonometric ratio to get at least something. Okay? So how can I do that? So I need at least one side. So I can get one side. I can get QR because QR is QS minus RS. Okay? So let me write and then you will understand. Dekho bhai. QR is equals to QS minus RS. Okay, everyone. Now, QS I know is 88.2. Why? I'll write it here. QS is equals to PM is equals to 88.2 because the distance of the balloon from the ground at every instant is same. It is 88.2 meters. अब ये RS, what to do with this RS here now? Again, वही rectangle wala funda. Think about it, guys. I have already told you that this here is a what rectangle? This is a rectangle because both of these angles are 90 degrees. So if this is a rectangle, everyone, I can say that okay, RS and TM are equal. Okay? And again, this ATMB is also a rectangle. So again, TM and AB are equal. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is this: AB, TM, and RS, they are all equal. ठीक है? So I'll write it here. RS is equals to AB is equals to 1.2 meters. ठीक है? तो 1.2 meters. So QR comes out to be what, everyone? It comes out to be 87 meters. ठीक है? Okay? Okay. So we got QR. ठीक है? अब I'll just erase all of this. This. Let's just make it clearer now. Okay? TM. Yeah, this is 88.2. This is 90 degree. Okay, and you can also write it here that ABSR is a rectangle. This entire thing is a rectangle, or you can also say that by ABMT is a rectangle, TMSR is also a rectangle. Okay, and all of these are congruent rectangles basically. Okay, अब let's see. In this triangle here, triangle AQR, I know QR. So if I know QR, can I not figure out AR? Can I not figure out AR? I can, right? So let's do that. In triangle AQR, tan 30 degrees is equals to QR over AR, right, everyone? Now QR is equals to what? It is equals to 88.2. AR is equals to what? I don't know. I have to figure that out. Okay? So from here I can say that okay, 1 over root 3 is equals to 88.2 over AR. So from here I can say that okay, AR is equals to 88. Why did I write? This is 87, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'll just rewrite this. Okay, this is QR is 87, not 88.2. Okay, 87. Okay, so AR is equals to 87 root 3. 87 root 3. Okay, everyone, we have figured out the entire AR. Now, I hope you can see where I'm going. See, I had to figure out PQ. I told you that PQ is equals to TR. Yes. Now, think about it. What is TR? TR is AR minus AT. Right? So I figured out AR. Now I'll just figure out AT and I'll subtract both of these. Baat khatam. ठीक है? तो चलो, now next thing we have to figure out is AT. तो अब which triangle will we take? We will take this triangle here. ये वाला triangle. ठीक है? In this triangle again, I have the angle of elevation and I know one side. Which side is that? Let's see which side is that. See, PT is equals to QR because again, guys, same logic. PQRT is a rectangle. Right? So if that happens, then PT's value is equals to QR. QR's value we figured out 87. So PT is also 87. ठीक है? So अब in triangle PAT, tan 60 degrees is equals to PT over 80. ठीक है? So PT we already know is 87. AT we have to figure out. Now tan 60 degrees is root 3, everyone. So a root 3 is equals to 87 over 80. And from here you can say that okay, AT is equals to 87 over root 3. ठीक है? अब as I've told you, we have to figure out TR, right? So TR, yeah, RT is equals to AR minus AT. AR is equals to 87 root 3. AT is equals to 87 by root 3. Okay? So this would come out to be what? 2 into 87 over root 3. Okay? So now, as I've told you, you cannot leave the denominator as irrational. So you will do what? You will first rationalize it. Okay? So let's just do it here. I'll write it like this. Okay? PQ is equals to RT. Okay? Same logic, guys. PQRT is a rectangle. Okay? So PQ is equals to RT is equals to 2 into 87 into root 3 over root 3 into root 3, which is 3. So I have just rationalized by multiplying root 3 in numerator and denominator. Okay, everyone? So now we can just cancel here. I'll get what? 2 into 3 to the 6, 7, 8, 29 here and root 3 here. So I can just multiply now. So 18, 58 root 3 meters. So this here is the distance between point P and point Q. 58 root 3. Okay, I hope you understood, everyone. It was a simple question. All you needed to do was just use logic. How can you figure out PQ? PQ can be figured out by figuring out TR. How can you figure out TR? TR is AR minus AT. How can you figure out AR? So you will use this triangle. How can you figure out AT? You will use this triangle. Bas, baat, khatam. Please don't mug up the steps, guys. There are multiple approaches to the same problem. Make sure that you draw the diagram yourself and make sure that you find your own approach. Okay, and you'll get it. Don't worry, just practice. Okay? Chali. With that, let's move on to the next question. A very important question, guys, has come in exams a lot of times. So an aeroplane, when flying at a height of 3,125 meters from the ground, passes vertically below another plane at an instant when the angles of elevation of the two planes from the same point on the ground are 30 degrees and 60 degrees respectively. Find the distance between the two planes at that instant. So guys, we have two planes. They are both point size because nothing about them is given. Okay? Now the plane which is flying at a height of 3125 meter, it passes vertically below another one. So this is A, this is B, these are the two planes. So the distance of plane A from the ground is given as 3125 meters. ठीक है, understood? The distance of B we don't know. Now they are saying that both of these planes are being observed from any point P on the ground, and it is found that the angle of elevation is 30 and 60 degrees. ठीक है? तो अब which angle would be 30 and which angle would be 60? Yes. Do you remember? The plane which is higher up, yes, the plane which is higher up, that plane's angle of elevation would be larger because obviously you'll have to incline your neck more up, right? So this B's angle of elevation would be greater while A's angle of elevation would be smaller, right? So I hope you can clearly see that this here is 30 degrees, guys, and this here is 60 degrees. Okay? PM is the horizontal. PM is the horizontal. AP is one line of sight. BP is another line of sight. Okay? And now, obviously, let's make this one also here. Okay? We have to figure out what? We have to figure out the distance between the planes at that instant. So, we have to figure out AB. And I'll take it as X. Okay, understood. This diagram was not hard, guys. I hope you understood. There were two planes. They were vertically above and below each other like this. The lower plane's altitude from the ground is given. So this is the perpendicular height that is given, 3125 meter. Both of them are being observed from a point. So angle of elevation of both the planes from the same point is given. So obviously the plane that is up will have the higher angle of elevation as compared to another one. Okay, so this is 60 degree. This is 30 degree. We have to find the value of AB. That means the distance between both the planes. Okay, chaliye ji, let's start the problem. So first of all, what I'll do is, I know that if I take this triangle here, look at this triangle here, everyone. Look at this triangle here, triangle APM. In triangle APM, I know one side is 3125 meters and I know the angle of elevation is 30 degrees, I can easily figure out MP. Why MP? Because if I figure out MP, then I can take this big wala triangle where MP will be a side, and here I'll have 3125 plus x as another side. So I can figure out the value of x from there. Okay, this is how your brain should think. So chaliye, let's start by taking, I'll first write down now what we have taken. Okay, so A and B be the two aeroplanes respectively. Okay, and AM is given as 3125 meters. To find, let's just write that down also, to find AB. Okay, everyone? So AB be x meters. Chalo, let's start everyone by taking the smaller triangle. So in a triangle AMP, tan 30 degrees would be equals to what? It would be equals to AM over MP, which would be equals to 3125 over MP. Tan 30 degrees is 1 over root 3. So 1 over root 3 is equals to 3125 over MP. So from here you can say that, okay, bhai, MP is equals to 3125 root 3 meters. We figured out the value of MP. Now I will take the bigger triangle. Okay? So now in triangle BMP, what will I have? I will have tan 60 degrees is equals to what? It would be equals to BM over PM. Okay? We know the value of BM as x plus 3125. Yes or no? X plus 3125 would be the value of this entire BM, everyone. And MP we have figured out as 3125 root 3. Now tan 60 degree itself is root 3. So root 3 is equals to x plus 3125 over 3125 root 3. I can take this here, so I'll have 3 into 3125. Now I'll take this 3125 also here, so minus 3125, and that's the value of x, everyone. So the value of x comes out to be 6250 meters. That's it, guys. That's the distance between the two planes at that instant. Understood? I think this is very simple, very basic, right? And this question is quite common in your board exam, so make sure that you understand it. Okay? Chaliye, so 6250 meters is the answer, and there was only one thing we had to figure out, so we are done. Let's move on to the next problem. From the point on a bridge across a river, the angles of depression of the banks of the opposite sides of the rivers are given as 30 degrees and 45 degrees. If the bridge is at a height of 8 meters from the bank, find the width of the river. So guys, what is happening? We have a river like this. This is the river, people. Okay? Now, what are the banks of the river, guys? These straight edge line segments that I have drawn now, they are called as banks of the river. Okay? So, this is one bank of the river, this is another bank of the river. Okay? Now, there's a bridge, and I am drawing everything as a straight line. Okay? So, this here is a bridge, everyone. From this, now obviously this bridge must be above the river. Okay? And we are taking the bridge to be a straight line. Okay? Now, the distance of the bridge from the bank. अब यहाँ पर understand, bridge is at height of 8 meter from the banks. इसका मतलब everyone that this bridge here, ठीक है, or I'll just make this अच्छे से, ठीक है, let me make it like this. हाँ, this here is the bridge, everyone. This here is the bridge. Okay, and let's just suppose that this is a 3D figure. So if this is a 3D figure, then the bridge here is above the banks by 8 meter of height. So that means this here is 8 meters. This here is 8 meters. Okay, now from the bridge at from any point on the bridge, basically, both the banks are being observed. Both the banks are being observed, and the angle of depression is given to you. You have to figure out the width of the river. Now, by width of the river, I mean the length of the entire bridge. Why? Because obviously, same thing, right? The length of the bridge and the width of the river are same only. So how will you make this figure so that you understand it well? So for that, what I will do first of all is I will make my bridge. This is my bridge, everyone. Okay, let me make this again. This here is my bridge. This is what? This is my bridge. Okay, everyone. Now, here, let me make this again. Okay. This bridge here is at a height of 8 meter from the river. Okay. So this is the height of the bridge from the river. This is 8 meters. Same this is 8 meters. Okay. And this, let's just suppose this is the river. This here is the river. Wait. Yeah. This is the river. Okay, everyone. This is the river flowing. Okay. Now, you take a point P on the bridge. Let's just suppose this is point P on the bridge. Okay? The angle of depression of the banks are given. So, one point of the bank is this. Another point of the bank is this. Did you understand? One point on the bank is this, another is this. Now, angle of depression, how will you find? So, first of all, you will draw a horizontal from point P. So, horizontal is already drawn. Here also horizontal is already drawn, right? So, horizontal is already there. You just need to join the line of sight. So, this is one line of sight, everyone. Okay? And this is another line of sight, everyone. Okay? This angle of depression, let's just suppose is 30 degrees. And let's just suppose this here is 60 degrees. Okay? Now, I have already told you that this line here and this line here would be what? They are parallel to each other. You can see in the diagram itself. So, that means if this is 30 degrees, this here is 30 degrees. Okay, understood? So, let's just अच्छे से draw this. This here is 30 degrees. By same logic, this here is 60 degrees. This is your diagram, everyone. Okay, now, if I join P with this any point Q, let's just suppose this is point Q and this here is perpendicular 90 degree. So, can I not say that PQ also will be 8 meters? Because this and this, they are all equal. Because this is also perpendicular, this is also perpendicular. Okay? Because we are saying that the distance of the bridge from the river bank is 8 meters. So, distance, height of the bridge is always perpendicular. Height of anything from the ground is given as perpendicular. Okay? So, this is 8. Okay, everyone, understood? Now, you have to figure out the width of the river. So, you have to figure out what? I will just erase this part here. Ye river wala part, I hope everyone understood, na? Okay? And this is better. Okay? We have to figure out AB. We have to figure out what? AB. Okay? So, once you understand what you have to figure out, I don't think there is anything in this question, everyone. Okay? So, let AB be the width of the river. Width of the river. Okay, everyone, we have to figure out AB. Now, I'll just, for understanding, I'll just say that CD is the bridge. CD is the bridge. So that you can understand what the bridge is and what the river is in the diagram. Okay. Now, everything else I have mentioned in the diagram itself. So, okay, now let's start solving. So, bacha, to figure out AB, I will need AQ, I'll need QB, right? AQ plus QB is what? AB. So, how will we figure out AQ? How will we figure out QB? So, pehle AQ ke liye, I will take this triangle here. This triangle here. Right? Now, in this triangle, I know an angle of elevation, it is 30 degrees. I know one line segment to be 8 meters. Can I not figure out AQ? Very easily, right? Chalo. So, first of all, I'll mention that PQ is equals to AD is equals to CB is equals to 8 meters. I'll mention where I got PQ. Okay? I got it from here. Why? Because all of these are rectangles. You can write or you can skip it also. Okay, ji. Chalo. Ab in triangle PQA, tan 30 degrees is equals to PQ over AQ. Okay? So, chalo, tan 30 degrees is 1 over root 3. AQ is what? AQ we have to figure out. Arre, what did I do? Wait, let me write this again. PQ by AQ, na? Sorry. PQ by AQ. Okay. So, 1 by root 3 is equals to PQ is what? It is 8. So, this here is 8 over AQ. That we have to figure out. Okay? So, from here I can say that, okay, AQ is equals to 8 root 3 meters. Okay? Similarly, can you not figure out QB? Very easily you can, right? Okay, now in triangle PQB, oh, okay. We have made a very small mistake, guys. This angle here was not 60 degrees. This was 45 degrees. I am so sorry. Yeah, this is 45 degrees, right? One angle was 30, another one was 45 degrees. Sorry. Okay, no worries. In triangle PQB, we can say that, okay, tan of 45 degrees is equals to PQ by QB. Now we already know that tan 45 degrees is 1. So PQ and QB are both equal. So that means that this QB here will be equals to PQ here, which will be equals to 8 meters. Right? So now people, I can figure out AQ very easily. What is AQ? AQ would be equals to, we can figure out AB very easily. What would be AB, everyone? AB would be equals to AQ plus QB. Right, so AQ would be equals to, we have figured it out, 8 root 3 and QB is equals to 8. So the final answer is 8 into root 3 plus 1 meters. Now here we have, been not given that use root 3 as 1.73. So I'll leave my answer as like this only. Okay? So yes, this is the final answer and I hope this was very easy. I think it was very easy question. The only thing that was hard to understand was to draw the figure, like how to draw the figure. ठीक है चलिए with that let's move on and discuss this problem here. The angle of elevation of the top of a building from the foot of a tower is 30 degrees. You have a building, guys, you have a tower. ठीक है, this is the building, this is the tower. ठीक है, so angle of elevation of the top of the building from the foot of the tower is 30 degrees. So this here is 30 degrees. ठीक है, now I hope I can directly draw the diagrams. This is 30 degrees. Now, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from the foot of the building, this is the foot of the building, this is the top of the tower, is 45 degrees. This is 45 degrees. Now, have I made this correctly, everyone? You, tell me, is this diagram correct? Is this diagram correct? This is my building. AB is my building and CD is my tower. Now, why am I asking you whether the diagram is correct or not? It is because of the angles. Because nowhere it's written na ki building is larger than the tower or tower is larger than the building. I automatically took the building to be, of more height as compared to the tower. But can I do that? It's not given. But again, here common sense will be utilized. Think about it, guys. I am watching the top of a building from this point and the angle of elevation is 30 degrees. But when I'm watching the tower from this point I'm watching the tower, the angle of elevation is higher. It's 45 degrees. Think about it. If I'm watching something like this is 30 degrees. But for 45 degrees, I'll have to, incline my neck more up. That means whatever I'm watching must be higher than whatever I was watching previously. Yes, so this diagram would be wrong if I take AB to be building. AB is not the building. Building's length is smaller. So CD is the building, guys. CD is the building. And AB is the tower. Why? Because the angle of elevation is larger for the tower. I'll write it here. Angle of elevation larger. Means what? It means height is larger. This is important here. It is not a hard question except for this part here. ठीक है, to understand what is the building and what is the tower, because you don't know which one's longer. You have to use your brain to understand that. ठीक है, तो angle of elevation larger, मतलब the height of that thing is larger. And also, both these angles will be exchanged. This angle would be the larger angle, everyone, and this angle here would be the smaller angle. ठीक है, so this is how the diagram should be. Cool. Chalo, now let's start. So here we already know that the tower's height is 30 meters, right? So CD's height tower is AB na. So this height we already know, right? Tower is 30 meter high and we have to figure out the height of the building. So we have to figure out CD's height. Okay? So I'll write it here. AB is equals to 30 meters here. Okay? CD we have to figure out. Okay? Chalo, let's do that, everyone. So first of all, there are two triangles here. So what I'll do is from one of the triangle, in one of the triangle here, this triangle here, in this triangle I can easily figure out BD. Why? Because I know AB and I know this angle is 45 degrees. Okay? So you can automatically say that BD would be equals to AB would be equals to 30 meters. Okay? And once I have BD, everyone, then I can take this triangle here, and in this triangle I can use tan 30 degrees to figure out CD. Bas, that's it. Okay? So here the entire thing was about making correct diagram. That's it. Okay? Chalo. Let's quickly do it, everyone. So in a triangle ADB, tan 45 degrees is equals to AB by BD, right? So from here you can say that, okay, AB, BD, they are all equal, and they are equal to what? 30 meters. So we got this as 30 meters. Okay, now we'll take second triangle. So in triangle CDB, again we'll use tan of 30 degrees, right everyone? Tan 30 degrees here, and that would be equals to opposite over adjacent. So CD over BD. So from here you can say that 1 over root 3 is equals to CD over 30. Okay? So from here you can say that, okay, CD is equals to 30 over root 3. Please rationalize your answer, guys, and then do anything. Okay? So I'll multiply root 3 numerator and denominator. So what will I get? I'll get 30 root 3 over 3, which is equals to 10 root 3 meters. That's the height of the tower, everyone. 10 root 3 meters. Okay? CD is equals to 10 root 3 meters. How many of people got the correct answer? Yes, got it? Chalo, well done. And if you didn't get it, no worries, guys, no worries. I hope you understood your mistake. Okay? Chaliye, so with that, people, let's move on to the next question. This question directly came in 2023, so it's an important problem. Let's see how to do this one. We have a ladder set against a wall at an angle of 45 degrees to the ground. Okay, people, this is my wall. This here is my ladder. Let me place the ladder here. This is my ladder, everyone. Okay? And I'll join the foot of the ladder with the foot of the wall. This is the foot of the ladder. This is the foot of the wall. Foot matlab bottom wala part, bottom points. Okay? Okay. Now, what is the angle? Let's suppose the angle is 45 degrees. They have given 45 degrees angle, so I have taken 45 degrees angle. Okay? So this is what I have drawn just using the first line. That's it. Okay? Now let's move on. If the foot of the ladder is pulled away from the wall, so this foot of the ladder is pulled away. Okay? So it goes back. Pulled away matlab it will go back. Let's suppose it goes back here. Then what happens? The top will also slide down the wall. That's a very natural reaction, right? So once the foot of the ladder goes back, this point here, it will go down the wall, right? So let's suppose it goes down the wall somewhere here. Okay? So that is what they are saying. Okay? So let me join and make the new ladder. This is my new ladder, everyone. Okay? Okay? And this here. Okay. Cool. Now, they are saying that it is pulled away from the wall through a distance of 4 meters. So that means this point, if the foot of the ladder is pulled away from the wall through a distance of 4 meters. So that means this foot here, it was pulled away from the wall by a distance of 4 meters. That means this is 4 meters, everyone. This is 4 meters. Okay, from the wall, the foot was pulled by 4 meters of distance. And when it happens, then its top slides at a distance of 3 meters. So the top of the ladder slides down by a distance of what? By a distance of 3 meters, everyone. That's it. This was the important part, to understand what is what. Okay? Foot wala distance ye hai. Slide downs the wall. This is the distance. Okay? Now, once that happens, the ladder is making an angle of 30 degrees with the ground. This angle is given as 30 degrees. What do we have to find? We have to find the final height of the top of the ladder from the ground. So, final height of the top of the ladder. So, finally, the ladder is resting at this point on the wall, right? So, we have to find the distance of this point from this point. That means, where is this, ladder resting against the wall at the end? So, its distance from the foot of the wall. This is what we have to find. Okay? And we have to figure out the length of the ladder. So, length of the ladder, so you already know, you can, let's just suppose that A, B, C. and DE. Okay. So what is the length of the ladder, everyone? Length of the ladder previously was AB. Now the same thing is DE, because the same ladder is sliding down, right? So AB and DE, both of them must be same. Okay. So we AB is equals to DE be the length of the ladder. Be the length of the ladder. This is what we have to figure out, and we also have to figure out, so I'll write it here. We have to figure out AB and we have to figure out DC. These are the two things we have to figure out. We have written it down. Okay. Now, anything else that is given to you, everyone? Nothing. So now what I'll do is, for my own benefit, okay, for my own benefit, I am going to suppose ki bhai, let's just suppose that BC is x meters. BC is x meters. Okay. Why did I do that? You will understand. Okay. So first of all, I need to figure out DC. I'll focus on figuring out DC. To figure out DC, DC is a part of this bigger triangle DCE with angle of elevation 30 degrees, right? Now, if only I can have DC in terms of x, so I can easily figure out DC from this bigger triangle. So how can I get that? So देखो, सबसे पहले take this big triangle here, this triangle ABC. Now in triangle ABC, everyone, in triangle ABC, if I use tan 45 degrees, then I can say that this is equals to AC by BC. Yes, everyone? Okay? Now, tan 45 degrees is 1. AC is equals to AD plus DC over BC. Okay? So I can say BC is what? X, right? So I can say that X is equals to AD. AD I already know is 3, right? So X is equals to 3 plus DC. Okay? Now from here I can say ki theek hai bhai, DC is X minus 3 meters. DC is what? X minus 3 meters. Simple. Okay? Understood? So this is X minus 3. Okay? Now people, I have DC in terms of X. I have BC in terms of X. Not BC, EC. I have EC in terms of X. So in this big triangle DEC, let's apply tan 30 degrees and see what I'm getting, right? So in a triangle DEC, tan 30 degrees would give me what? It would give me DC over EC. Okay, now DC I know to be X minus 3 and EC is what? EC is EB plus BC, right? So 4 plus X, that is X plus 4. X plus 4 here. Tan 30 degrees is what, everyone? Tan 30 degrees is 1 by root 3. So 1 by root 3 is equals to X minus 3 over X plus 4. Let's cross multiply, everyone. So X plus 4 is equals to X root 3 minus 3 root 3. So from here I can say that, okay, X 1 minus root 3, or wait, let's rewrite this. X root 3 minus 1 is equals to 4 plus 3 root 3. Okay, so X, now I'll take this root 3 minus 1 on the other side. So I'll have 4 plus 3 root 3 over root 3 minus 1. Please rationalize the denominator, everyone. So I'm going to rationalize my denominator right here, right now. So here what do I get? I get X is equals to 4 plus 3 root 3 multiplied with 3 root 3, root 3 plus 1. I'll just multiply inside, okay? So I'll get 4 root 3 plus 4 plus 9. 9 plus 3 root 3. So the final and divided by, everyone, let's not forget, divided by 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay? Chalo. So X comes out to be what? So 4 root 3 plus 3 root 3 is 7 root 3. So 7 root 3 plus 13 divided by 2 meters. That's the value of CD. So CD was what? CD was the distance between the ladder, the final position of ladder from the ground. So we figured this out. Okay, 7 root 3 plus 13 divided by 2. Okay, simple, everyone. Now we also had to figure out AB or DE, whatever you want to figure out. Okay, so ab AB or DE. So let's just see what AB is, everyone. So we can figure out AB how? So we can either use another ratio here in any of the triangle. Let's just use it in the first triangle, triangle ABC. So in triangle ABC, I know the value of BC. It's x. ठीक है, and I need what? I need AB. So for that I'll use cos. Right or not? So I'll write it here everyone. Cos of 45 degrees is equals to BC, that is x, divided by AB. ठीक है, so from here you can say that 1 over root 2 is equals to 1 by AB into 7 root 3 plus 13 divided by 2. Right everyone? Now here you can cancel these two, so you'll get root 2 here. So from here you can say that, okay, AB is equals to, now you will have 7 root 3 plus 13 divided by root 2. Right? So you will rationalize this again. So on rationalize, how will you rationalize? You will multiply root 2 in numerator and denominator. So you will get what? Here you will get 7 root 6 plus 13 root 2 divided by 2. Okay, that's quite a big answer everyone. ठीक है, so I don't think the calculation was hard, ठीक है, and you don't have to use the value of root 3 as 1.73, so that's like that makes our question simpler, right? But yes, again, I hope you understood this. This was, I think, the entire thing here was understanding the diagram, है ना? That's it. In fact, in the entire question, I keep repeating this again and again, and I know you must be bored, but the entire thing, people, here is to understand how the diagrams will be made. Bas. ठीक है, चलो. With that, let's move on and discuss this problem. It's a interesting problem, and what I want you people to do is pause this video right now and try drawing the diagram yourself, and let's see if you can make it. Okay, so please do it and let me know in the comment box if you were able to make the correct diagram for this question. Okay, chaliye, so please do that. With that, guys, let's move. Okay, Amit is standing on a horizontal plane and he finds a bird flying at a distance of 200 meters from him at an elevation of 30 degrees. So Amit is standing on a horizontal plane. So this is how we made horizontal plane, everyone. This is Amit, let's suppose. He finds a bird here. So again, both of these are point size. The height of Amit is not given. The height of bird is not given. So both of these are point size. Okay? So he finds this bird flying at an angle of what? At an angle of elevation of 30 degrees. So this angle of elevation is 30 degrees. I hope this was clear to everyone. Simple hai. Okay? This is Amit A. This is bird B. Okay, now Deepak. So we have another person, Deepak. He also has nothing to do. So he is just, standing on the roof of a 50-meter high building. So you have a building, everyone. Okay? So let's just suppose this is the building. Or I'll make the building here. Okay, so this is the building, everyone, and Deepak is standing on this building. Okay, again, Deepak's height is not given, so Deepak is point size. Okay, and this building's height is given as 50 meters. And he also is doing what? He is observing the same bird, and he finds the angle of elevation of the bird to be 45 degrees. So how will you make the angle of elevation for this Amit here? So first of all, this is the horizontal, everyone, that you will draw. Okay, this is the horizontal. Then this would be the line of sight of Deepak and the bird. Okay, so what would be the angle of elevation, everyone? The angle of elevation would be this, 45 degrees. Understood? Simple hai? ठीक है. Now, why did I take Deepak to be here? Why did I take Deepak to be here and not on the other side and not on the other side of Amit? Because the last sentence is saying that Amit and Deepak are on the opposite side of the bird. So if the bird is here, Amit is on one side and Deepak is on another side. So that's why I took the bird to be in between Amit and Deepak. That's why the diagram looks like this here. Okay? If they had not given this, the bird is between Amit and Deepak, then I could have taken Deepak to be standing here on the building. I could have done that also. Okay? Then I would have multiple answers. Okay? But they have specified this. Okay? Now we have to figure out the distance of the bird from Deepak. So we have to figure out the distance of the bird from Deepak. What do we need to figure out, everyone? We need to figure out the length BD. This is the length we have to figure out. So let this length be x. This is what we have to figure it. फिगर आउट, ठीक है जी, ठीक है। और वेट, विल टेक एक्स समथिंग एल्स, नहीं अभी नहीं, ठीक है। चलो पहले लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड हाउ वी कैन फिगर आउट बी डी। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट आई विल डू इज आई विल ड्रॉ अ हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन लाइक दिस, because otherwise I can't see any triangles here, ठीक है। This is my horizontal line, sorry, this is my vertical line perpendicular to the horizontal line here, ठीक है। Now it's given, why did I do that? It's given that the bird is flying at a distance of 200 meters from him, ठीक है। So the distance of the bird from Amit is given as 200 meters. Notice that the distance of the bird from the ground is not given. The distance of the bird from Amit is given. So Amit is here, bird is here. This is given 200 meters, everyone. Understand the difference. Don't take this line to be 200. ठीक है, the distance between the bird and Amit is given. ठीक है, अब let's first of all do what? So think about it. I have to figure out BD. ठीक है जी, to figure out BD, I will talk about this triangle here, AB. Let's just take this as C, this as M, this as N. ठीक है, I've taken all the different points here. Now, to figure out BD, I have to take triangle BMC. What do I need to do? I need to take the triangle BMC. Obvious है ये, ठीक है। अब in this triangle, I need one, side to figure out BD. I have no sides given ना, I only have angle of elevation. So if I could either have MD या फिर I could have BM, both of them will work. या तो BM मिले या MD मिले, ठीक है, okay. तो अब I am going to focus on figuring out BM. What I'm going to do? I'm going to focus on figuring out BM, ठीक है। Now BM is equals to what? Notice BM is equals to BC minus MC. BC minus MC here. अब what is CB, everyone? How can I figure out CB? अब यहाँ पर use your brain. I can figure out CB by using this triangle. Right, by using this triangle. In this triangle I have an angle of elevation, I have one side, so I can use trigonometric ratio to figure out BC, ठीक है। और MC is very easy. Why? Because this CM here is equals to ND here, because MC and D is a rectangle. So since it's a rectangle, I'll write it here. CM is equals to DN is equals to 50 meters. Why? MDNC is a rectangle. Is a rectangle, everyone. ठीक है, understood. This is simple, easy. Cool. Now let's start with figuring out BC. चलो जी, in triangle ABC, what ratio I am going to use? I know the perpendicular, I know the hypotenuse, I need the perpendicular. ठीक है, so I will use sine, right? So sine 30 degrees is equals to what? It would be equals to opposite या perpendicular divided by hypotenuse. Sine 30 degrees is equals to 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is equals to CB. CB we have to figure out. AB is 200. So from here we'll say that okay, CB or BC both same thing is equals to 100 meters. We figured this out, everyone. We figured out BC. And once we figured out BC, I can figure out BM. BM would be 100, that is CB, minus CM. CM is what, everyone? 50. So BM is 50 meters. I figured out BM. This is 50 meters. And now people, take this triangle here. Take this triangle here. You have the value of BM. You need BD. So what will you use? Sine again, right? So let's do this. Okay. In triangle BMD, I'll have tan 45, not tan, sine. We'll use sine, everyone. My fault. Sine 45 degrees is equals to MB. Yes, so MB over MD. Sorry, BD. My fault, everyone, by BD. So this will be what? Sine 45 degrees is 1 over root 2 is equals to 50 divided by BD, which we have to figure out. Okay, so from here we figure out BD to be 50 root 2 meters. So since they have not asked you to plug in the value of root 2, you can leave your answer as it is. This is what they had to, they asked you, 50 root 2. So again, what was the important part? The important part was first to make the diagram, then to understand if we have to figure out BD, in this triangle BMD, I would need either BM or MD. Now, I can see that I can figure out BM easily if I just know CB and if I just know CM. CM is something I can easily see that CM would be equals to DN because this here is a rectangle. So, CM is 50 meters. That's easy. Now, to figure out CB, I'll take this triangle ABC, and in this triangle, I know this, so I know CB easily. So once I have that, I'll have BM, and then in this triangle, I can easily figure out BD. That's it, guys. That's it. Okay? Chaliye. So with that, people, let's move on to the last question of this session, and a pretty important question, guys. So let's see. Dekho bhai, angle of elevation of a cloud from a point 60 meter above the surface of the water. Okay, let's make the surface of the water, shall we? So this here is the surface of the water, everyone. I'll take the surface of the water to be obviously a straight line. Okay. We have a cloud here somewhere. And again, cloud's height, width, nothing is given. Okay, so it's point size. From 60 meter above the surface of the water, from 60 meter above the surface of the water, so let's just suppose that this here is 60 meters. Okay, the cloud is observed and the cloud is point size. Okay, and its angle of elevation is given. So first of all, how will you make the angle of elevation? You will first make the horizontal, guys. This here is the horizontal. Okay, now the line of sight is this. Okay, so what's the angle of elevation, people? The angle of elevation is this here. This is the angle of elevation. And it's given to be what? It's given to be 30 degrees. The angle of elevation is 30 degrees. Okay, this was easy, I hope. Now they are saying that the angle of depression of it shouldn't be shadow, everyone, it should be reflection. है ना, reflection होता है ना, ठीक है. So the angle of depression of the reflection of this cloud from the same point is found to be 60 degrees. यहाँ पर होता है confusion. A lot of people would be like, okay, this should be the reflection of the cloud, so this is the angle of depression they are talking about. No. Why? अब यहाँ पर remember physics, guys. In physics you have studied that in mirror the object is the reflection of the object is as far away from the surface of the mirror as you are far away from the surface of the mirror. Okay? No, that basically applies to reflection also. So if you have an object that is, let's just suppose, 2 meters away from the surface of this water here, so its image will also be 2 meters away from the surface of the water in opposite direction. Okay? Reflection is not formed here, reflection is formed here. Understood? So please use physics here, and if you don't, then you will get this question wrong for sure. So that means if this here is the cloud, guys, so whatever the distance of cloud is from the surface, then at that same distance inside the water, the cloud's reflection will be formed. Understood? Let's see. We have to find the height of the cloud from the surface of the water. So we have to figure out what? I will just erase this. This also. This is not very helpful for me. So I have to figure out this thing here. This is what I have to figure out. Okay? So first of all, let me just write all the name here. So let's just suppose this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and this is the reflection. So this is R. Okay? Now we have to find, let C be the cloud, R be the reflection. R be the reflection. Okay, everyone? Now, another thing to note is, we have to find what? We have to find BC. To find CB. To find CB. Let me write this again. To find CB. ठीक है? Okay. Now, what else is given to you? We are given this as 60 meters, so I have written it down and nothing else is given to us. ठीक है? So, first of all, everyone, let's see what all we can figure out from the diagram itself. AD is 60 meter. Now, notice that AB, and let's just suppose that this is M. So, ABMD is a rectangle because this again is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. So, and opposite sides are equal. So, clearly, right, this is a rectangle, everyone. So, from here I can say that, okay, this is 60 meters. This is what? This is 60 meters. Okay? Chalo, so let me write that down quickly. AD is equals to, MB is equals to 60 meters. Okay. Now, what would be MC, everyone? Okay. So, CM here. CM I can take as X. Okay. Dekho, I have to figure out BC or CB basically, right? So, if I have to figure out CB, so it would be X plus 60. So, now I only have to focus on figuring out the value of X. Okay. So, I have taken CM dx meters. Okay. I'll just remove the meters for now. Okay, cool. Now what I'll do is, I will take first of all this triangle here, triangle CDM. This triangle I am taking, everyone, and in this triangle I will try to figure out the value of DM in terms of X. And that's easy, right? Why? Because in triangle CDM, if I just use tan of 30 degrees, then I see that it would be equals to X over DM. Okay? So that means that 1 over root 3 is equals to X over DM. So that means that DM is equals to X root 3 meters. So that means that this here is what? This is X root 3 meters, guys. Why did I do that? Why did I figure this out? Because now I'll be working in this triangle here. This triangle here. Now in this triangle, I have the value of DM in terms of X. I will figure out the value of MR also in terms of X. How? Let's see. Chalo. So, MR is equals to what? It is equals to MB plus BR. Yes, everyone? Okay? That's very obvious. MB's value is obvious. It's 60 meters. Because MB is what? It's equals to AD. Because it's a rectangle, the entire thing. What is the value of BR though? Ab I know that BR and CB will be equal. Why? Because again, in physics, we have learned this, right? The cloud is how far away from the surface? CB. So, the reflection will also be CB far away from the surface. Okay? So, BR will be equals to CB. Understood? Okay. So, 60 plus CB. Now, what is the value of CB, everyone? So, you can see that CB is equals to X plus 60. Yes or no? So, I'll write it again. 60 plus CB is equals to CM plus MB. So, that would be equals to 60 plus X plus 60. So, that would be X plus 120 meters. So, I figured out the value of this BR or MR. Why did I write MR? Sorry people, this is not MR. Sorry. We have figured out the value of MR, everyone. My fault. We have figured out the value of MR by MB plus RB. Okay? Now, in triangle MDR. In triangle MDR, I have DM in terms of X. I have MR in terms of X. I have this angle as 60 degree. Can I not find the value of X? I can very easily, right? So, I will use tan 60 degrees, which will be equals to opposite over adjacent. So, that would be equals to MR over MD. So, MR is equals to X plus 120. MD we have figured out as X root 3. Okay, and this is equals to root 3, everyone. So, from here you can say that, okay, 3x is equals to X plus 120. So, from here you can say that X is equals to 60 meters. So, we figured out the value of X as 60 meters. Now, what did we need to find? We need to find the height of the cloud from the surface of the water, right? So, the required height of the cloud from the surface of the water is CB, right? So CB is equals to x plus 60. So x already came out to be 60 plus this additional 60. The final answer is 120 meters, people. 120 meters. The entire question rested on the notion that you know that the reflection will be as far away from the surface as the cloud was. That's it. There was no hard calculation, nothing. Okay? So yes, people, I hope you understood this question. And with that, I have a homework for you, obviously. Okay? So here's the homework question, everyone. Here's the homework question. It came in 2023. It's an easy one at that. So yes, let's see how many of you people can give the correct answer in the comment box. Okay? Chaliye. So that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you learned how to make the diagrams, and I hope you learned how to use trigonometric ratios. That's it. Okay? Now, if you're still confused, guys, if you still think that no, I am still lacking in my understanding of how to make diagrams, no worries. You just need practice. Okay? So do that, people. You have practice questions also that are provided to you. Okay? So please click in the description box below and you will get that. So yes, that's it, everyone. With that, I will meet you in the next session with the one short session of a very important chapter. But till then, bye bye. Take care of yourself. Thank you.